Hello, everybody. In today's video, I will talk about the schools of Buddhism or sects of Buddhism. Um, in my PowerPoint, I have already talked about Zen Buddhism or Chan Buddhism a lot. They influence East Asian a lot. So through meditation, right? They will practice meditation. And in my orientation in this week, I have put a link about meditation, and you guys can try it if you haven't done so. Buddhists, they all would like to become enlightened people, um, like a Buddha. Actually, they are just like us, you know. The only difference is they are enlightened, right? They, know everything, understand better than us. So, some people, they cannot handle the subtlety of a meditation. Um, so but they want to become enlightened, so they choose Pure Land Buddhism. Buddhism actually has a lot of branches, have a lot of schools, and the Chan Buddhism and the Pure Land Buddhism are most popular ones in Eastern Asia. In my PowerPoint, I have talked about the Chan Buddhism or Zen Buddhism a lot, and here I will focus on Pure Land Buddhism. If we talk about Pure Land Buddhism, we have to know the story of Amitabha Buddha. Once there was a king who was so deeply moved by the suffering of beings in the world that he gave up his throne and become a monk named Dharmakara. Dharmakara was heavily influenced by the 81st Buddha and vowed to become a Buddha himself. With the aim of creating a Buddha land that would be free of all limitations, he meditated at once on other Buddha lands and set down what he learned in 48 vows. Eventually, he achieved enlightenment and became Amitabha Buddha and established his Buddha land of Sukhavati. His most important vows was the 18th, which said, "If I were to become a Buddha, and the people hearing my name have faith and joy and recite it forever, 10 times, but are now born into my pure land, may I not gain enlightenment." Since he did gain enlightenment, it follows that those who do have faith and joy and who recite his names will be born into the Pure Land. Pure Land Buddhism as a school of Buddhist thinking began in India around like a 2nd century BCE. It spread to China, where there was a strong cult of Amitabha by the 2nd century CE, and then spread to Japan around the 6th century CE. Pure Land Buddhism received a major boost to its population in the 12th century with the simplification made by Hanan. A century later, Shinran, a disciple of Hanan, brought a new understanding of the Pure Land ideas, and this became the foundation of Shin sect, or true sect. Pure Land Buddhism took off in Japan when the monk Hanan simplified the teachings of practice of the sect so that anyone could cope with them. He eliminated the intellectual difficulties and the complex meditation practice used by other schools of Buddhism. Hanan taught that rebirth in the Pure Land was certain for anyone who recited the name with complete trust and sincerity. But this sect is not that simple, right? It sounds pretty simple, but it's not very simple. You have to have the complete trust on, the Buddha. Also have to be very completed sincerity. Hanan said that all that was need was saying Namu Amida Butsu with a conviction that by saying it, one will certainly attain birth in the Pure Land. Again, with sincerity and trust, right? The trust Amitabha Buddha. The result was a form of Buddhism accessible to anyone, even if they were illiterate, you don't know, how to write, read, but you still can, if you have sincerity, if you have the trust on Amitabha Buddha, so you can go to the Pure Land. So that's the basic practice of this school. All right, we do have many schools of Buddhism. You may do some research on one of them or two of them. I encourage you guys to do so. It's very interesting. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day.